to another video and a YouTube channel, Active English India. I hope you're watching my previous videos and following me on my YouTube and Instagram handle. So today I'm going to discuss speaking part 2 with you, and I hope that you watched speaking part 1, both the videos, and now we're moving to speaking part 2. Okay, so let us start with the video. So as you can see that I have written what is exactly required and how you go about it in speaking part 2. So what happens is that you're given a topic and that topic is written on a cue card. So basically this round is known as the cue card round, right? In this topic you will see something like this in front of you. The examiner is going to present a topic to you. Okay, so what happens is I'm going to tell you step by step. Okay. So because before attempting any exam or before taking up any exam, you should always be familiar and be aware of the format. Okay, you should always be aware of the format of the examination, and that is going to help you get a better score. So once you're done with the question answer round or the dialogue or the conversation round in speaking part 1, the examiner is going to tell you that now we're going to begin with speaking part 2. Okay, and he's going to tell you here's your topic. He's going to give you a small paper on which a topic would be written, and the topic would be similar to this pattern. Okay, this is how exactly the topic would be given to you. Okay, now what you have to do is you will be given 1 minute. After taking that cue card, you will be given 1 minute. You will be given a pen and a paper. Okay, so in that 1 minute you can make your notes. Okay, now notes does not mean that you will write full sentences or you will write whole paragraphs. It is not possible to do in 1 minute. So what exactly do you mean by notes? It means that now you see here's this cue card. For example, describe the role of uniform. Okay, this is a random topic. Any topic could be given to you. So describe the role of uniform, and they also give you the sub points, that what exactly they are looking for. Okay, so this is task achievement. You should say why is it important, where do you wear it, and how do you feel about it. Okay, so these are the 3 subtopics. Now in that 1 minute what you are supposed to do is make notes on each of these 3 points. This is what I suggest my students to do, and this is what I did. Okay, I quickly jotted down some main important ideas that came into my mind at that moment, and I made sure that I include these pointers in it. Okay, because if you don't include these pointers, task achievement would not be done and your bands will gradually decrease. Okay, so what is important is to make points of all these things, and if you are good with vocabulary, which you have to be before appearing for the exam, write some of the main vocabulary strong words, right? For example, you could use synonyms of some words that you're going to use in the speaking test. Okay, and also make sure you use at least 3 to 4 connectors, okay, or 3 to 4 connecting words, okay, and write them so that you remember that I have to use it. It is very important to use connectors. I'm going to make videos after this on these topics as well, that how you include connectors in your speaking exam, right? So this is what you're supposed to do. Make notes on these 3 points, write some nice vocab words if you have, and 3 to 4 connectors so that you make sure you use them, right? So this is a sample question that is given to you. We will come back to this later. Okay, now what you're supposed to do. Okay, in speaking part 2, what exactly you should do. So here is the list of do's. We're going to discuss the do's first. Okay, so the first thing is make notes. As I told you, you have to make notes. You have to just sort of write the main ideas of the sub points and then shift to the another sub point. Okay, so every sub point should have a main idea which you should write. Okay, for example, let's discuss this example only. Role of uniform, why is it important? Okay, so why is it important? If right now my brain is telling me to write this thing, that it is important because it is a sort of code in a certain organization. So I could write code, okay, or it brings people together, okay, so it unites people, okay, something like that. This I have, and for every point at least write two main ideas. Okay, so for point 1 I could write two main ideas. As I said, it is important because it is a code for an organization, or it unites, okay, or it brings uniformity. Uniformity means equality. Okay, so here I have written more than two main ideas, but you could write two main ideas. Okay, coming on to the second point, where do you wear it? Okay, so if you don't wear it right now, for example, if you're working somewhere, or you're in a college and you don't have a dress code or a uniform, then go back to the times when you used to wear it. Okay, so we all wore uniform in our school. So for this point, you could go back to time, you could talk in past. Okay, so if you wear it right now, for example, if somebody has uniform on 2 days in office, so you could say that we have it for 2 days, and then you could talk about past, about your school. Okay, 2 points for the second point. Then how you feel about it. Okay, so you have to tell that how you feel about wearing a uniform, or how you feel about the whole idea of uniform. Now in this point, you don't have to just stick to the main sub point. Okay, how you feel about it will always be a question, and you have to address the whole situation here. Okay, so how you feel about it, again you could elaborate the first point in this, and you can include the second point also. Okay, that whatever you feel about the role of uniform in lives. Understood? So make notes of each point, at least give two supporting ideas for each and every point. Understood? Moving on to the second one, address each point. If you will make notes, you have to address each point. I'm sorry. Don't leave any point in between. Then give background. I always say in speaking test, you have to give background. Okay, because this is it is not a situation where you will be asked questions. It is not like the first round, and it is not like the third round. It is not a conversation, it is not a dialogue, it is a monologue. You will be the person who will be speaking there for 2 minutes. Okay, so you have to include so many things in your points. And trust me, when you're sitting in that examination room, guys, 2 minutes are as long as 2 hours. They do not pass easily. Okay, 2 minutes are very long. And just imagine, each and every word you say is recorded and you're marked upon it. So make sure you you use correct words, right? So give background. Background will help you to lengthify the speech you give. Okay, so it will increase the length of the speech. Talk about past. Okay, in every situation, what happens is, if you don't know what to say and how to start, it is best to go back in past and you start talking in past, then move on to present and talk about the present scenario. Okay, so you could include past experiences also. Okay, so the next point is personal experiences or lie, which means that if you have any personal experience regarding the question or the situation, you could always use them, because that is how you will express it more beautifully. Or if you don't have any experience regarding it, you also have to lie. Okay, this is very important. You might not have seen a place, you might not have seen anything or experienced it, so you have to make stories also. Then use phrases. Okay, you should always use phrases. I'm going to put a separate video on all these things, phrases and idioms and all that. Then be logically organized. This is very important. Okay, your cohesion and coherence is very important. How you move on to from one idea to another and to another. Okay, so that should be very logical. You should not go in any direction you want. Stick to the point, right? And move to another point in a very clear manner. Then use contractions. This is very important in speaking. Okay, because when you use contractions, the examiner understands that you're very comfortable in pronouncing those contractions correctly. So you will be marked on pronunciation. Okay, for example, I would, instead of I would, use I'd. Okay, we would, we'd like to go to watch a movie, for example. Okay, going to, gonna. I am, I'm. Understood? So these contractions are very important because many people are not really comfortable in pronouncing. So that is why that is where you get an edge. Use connectors. Connectors, I'm going to put a separate video. Okay, connectors are words like but, okay, for, while, therefore, hence, all these words and how to use them correctly. Speak confidently and enthusiastically. This is the last point, but this is very important. Okay, you should you should show interest in the question. You should show interest in every topic. If you speak in a very boring or a monotonous manner, the tone of the conversation will be very boring. Okay, you don't have to make it like that. You have to be enthusiastic. Okay, show interest and show that as if you know the topic already. Understood? Now moving on to don'ts, that what you should avoid while you're attempting speaking part 2. First of all, don't be nervous or do not panic. Many people panic when they have to speak for even 30 seconds in a foreign language. English is a foreign language for many of us still. Okay, so whenever a situation like this arises, people tend to panic, but you should not panic. If you are well prepared with everything, you should always be confident. Okay, and confidence always begins with a smile. Okay, with a correct seating posture. Be calm, calm yourself down, pull yourself together, and then start speaking. Be short, don't be short. Okay, you should not be short. This is the foremost rule of speaking IELTS test, because you are marked on the way you speak. Okay, so don't be brief. You have to be very descriptive. Describe everything. The question itself says describe. So how could you be short? Okay, then don't use informal words. So although it is not a formal test or it is not an academic test, it is common for both academic and general training, but avoid using such words which are very informal or which are very much into text language. Okay, for example, yeah or yup or nope or cuz, instead of because, cuz. Don't use such words. Okay, use yes, I agree, no, I don't agree, I disagree, something like that. Okay, then don't go off topic. Okay, if the topic is about uniform, talk about uniform. Don't talk about if you're going back to your school days, then don't start talking about your friends or the playground of the school or your favorite subjects. No, you will be down to band 5, 4, 6. Okay, because of going off topic. Stick to the sub points. These sub points here are given to you to sort of organize your speech. Okay, so stick to these points. Use normal words. You should not use normal words. Okay, for example, bad, good, happy, sad. Instead of them, what do you have to use? You have to use synonyms. Understood? And the last one is monotonous tone. Only speaking in one tone. Even if you're happy, even if you're describing a happy incident, you're in the same tone. And if you're transiting it into a sad moment, then also you're in the same tone. No, vary your tone. Okay, you should always use intonations in your speech. Okay, intonation is very important. Understood? So this was how to go about speaking part 2. You should be well prepared, and there is no set answers for this part. Okay, like in speaking part 1, we have 5 to 6 vast topics on which we answer the questions. Okay, but in this part there is no set answer, right? For some of you, answer may be different, for some of others answer may be different, and the examiner will judge you accordingly. So I would give my sample answer at the end of this video. I would write it and I would insert it in the video, but there is no set answer. You could not you should not memorize answers, because topic could be anything and you should not just stick to one answers. And don't plagiarize your answers. The examiner also knows what is available on Google and everywhere, so you should not learn any of those answers. Make your own answers, and you should always practice. Understood? I have given you these guidelines. Okay, I am going to discuss many of these pointers in my upcoming videos. I'm going to discuss phrases, and I'm going to discuss contractions and connectors. Okay, so we're going to discuss all these things in details. So do stay connected with me and follow my YouTube channel for speaking part 2, speaking part 3, and all the other IELTS related videos. And I will get back to you soon. And if you have any doubts, please write it in the comment section below, or you could always email it to me. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share my channel. Thank you so much. Have a good day.